look at that. Nice and pretty white. What am I up to? Well, I'll show you. Let's go see. Yeah, it's time to do the ceiling. Yeah, time to do the ceiling. So it's been a while on my updates on this barn. I think I left off on doing the, I think that wall. So I went ahead and insulated this one. I had other videos on how I did the insulation. So I'm pretty much ready to do these two bays on the ceiling so I can actually finish the floor up there. So I got some steps going up there, pretty damn tall, 12-foot ceiling. And then I'm going to use that space up there, like the middle area, kind of like where that triangular piece is in a truss, from about here to there. That whole triangular piece will be storage all the way down. So, I don't know. Here we go. Time for the ceiling. All right, first thing, I got to put the FJ channel up there. Let me show you where. So I got quite a few sticks of that. So on this wall here for my stairs, I got to put a piece across there. And then got to put a piece right there. That's already there. And I got to put a piece all the way down to where I'm going to stop right there. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. I just realized that I had to actually add this 2x4 here all the way down so the ceiling has something to screw to close to the trim piece. When it nests inside the trim there, it's going to nest in that way, that FJ channel. And nothing was really holding it. There's nothing there, so I had to put some kind of nailer up there. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm going to go ahead and get the plastic, and I'm going to start putting all the plastic up here. There's a piece of plastic, and sometimes, you know, it was rectangular, like 90 by 100 inch or something like that. And of course, I put it up there the wrong way. So I'm a little short here, and I got a bunch of excess. I wadded up right there. Just kind of flipped it over. And that's what I noticed. Let me show you what I got to do up here. I'm up here now. All right, so there's my insulated wall, the corner where the steel meets it, right there. And you can see down in here, that's where the insulation is. And then on the other side of this is where the soffit is. Oop. Hopefully I'm showing you. Yeah, there's a soffit. So when I blow the insulation in, I don't want to blow it in here. I got to stay away from there. So I'm putting this home wrap up. I just kind of got it. Let's show you this way. That's what it looks like now. And I'm putting a home wrap up from this board here. The face of it is stapling it onto there. See? And then I'm going to take it up to the pole at a little bit of an angle, leaving a gap up here. So this could be all the way down with this gap. This gap right here. So it can still breathe. But when I blow the insulation in, it won't go up and over the top of this. It'll kind of be up about, right about here. And that'll prevent it from rolling over and plugging up the soffits. So that's what I'm doing. I gotta go ahead and do that down to that pole, and then on the other side of it, rest of the way down there. So that's what I'm using for that little blocker up there. I just showed you, just home wrap, cutting little strips, staple them up. That's where I just was. So I'm gonna take that all the way down. Then I'm ready to put the plastic up, and then the trim, and then the ceiling. Yeah, I should have had that done already. I kind of forgot, but I'll get back on track. All right, I got that little chunk buttoned up. Not bad. I don't like what I did there, but steel's gonna cover it, it doesn't matter. I left a little bit of slack in the plastic there, so when I put that trim piece up, it's not too tight. It'll actually push the slack up, and then the steel will just hold everything up. There's the baffle. Kind of hard to see it, but try to get a different angle. There's the baffle up there. Right there, all the way down. Turned out pretty good. Now, it's time for this section right here. Plastic. So that's up next. And then, behind the garage door. I got those two little sections there to plastic up. Those little air baffles are up there already, so I'm good. And then trim. Just kind of showing you how I do it. So I started, right here is my seam. So I started in that corner right there. I kind of put my 4 staples in there and squared it up by eye best I could off of this 2x4. Then I let it hang. Came over here, pulled it tight, put a couple staples there, maybe about a foot worth of staples right there. And then I went back over to this corner where I just finished, pulled that corner tight as I could, put a few staples in, make a couple foot maybe right there. And now I'm gonna stretch everything over to this corner. And it's not gonna be perfect, doesn't need to be. I'll probably pull this side tight because that's what matters to me, that, you know, it's hitting this whole board the whole way. I'm not crooked. So as long as I can pull this corner tight and put a bunch of staples there. This side ain't that important because I got excess over there. I'll just kind of let that float like I did over there. So when I put that trim piece up, it's not too tight, it pushes it up. I can have a little slack over there, that's fine. So I'm gonna button that up now. Well, sidetracked. I'm going to pull the garage door opener down. Real quick, why? We kind of notched my trusses a little bit too low. So if you see right there, the steel will be going between that 2x4 and that garage door opener arm. There's like an inch in there. And I knew it doing it. So instead of cutting a bunch of holes too in my steel for the hangers, I'm just taking it out. I'm gonna eliminate it and go with an end drive. It'll be much cleaner looking steel on the ceiling. Should have thought about that before. So yeah, if you're doing a steel ceiling and you don't have garage door openers yet, probably don't go with that style. Go with the end drive or whatever you call it, the wall mount, whatever. That's all I'm gonna do. So, sidetracked. It got her down. Big old long ass. Freaking space killing piece of junk. It's not a piece, actually it's a nice garage door opener. But, so is that one. So that's what I'm putting up. Not right now. Just got her down. I got all that room now. No more issues. I will have to still notch out for these damn hangers though. I don't like it. I kind of wish it was just a single coming down, which I don't like just a single. No strength to it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to notch it out there. It kind of sucks, but oh well. So, anyways, today, finishing up the plastic in this end. My baffles are already set up there for the soffit. And I'll be ready to start hanging some trim on here when them last 2 pieces of plastic are up. So let's go. Okay, I'm on the ladder. This is the corner I'm gonna start with the plastic. And it's gonna go that way. I'm gonna fill in this rectangle right here. So it's already cut, 110 inch by 110 inch. Try to keep it fairly square. Ain't gotta be perfect, but fairly square, because by yourself, it's a little bit difficult. So I'm gonna start this corner first and just kind of square up this edge by eye, you know, about a foot worth. And same that way, and they should follow the board pretty well. And I'll put in about 4 or 6 staples right here, enough to hang that corner. Then I'll go to that corner, kind of pull it tight this way. And as I'm holding it tight that way, I'll pull it this way about a foot also, maybe here to, you know, here to here. Then make sure it's fairly straight. It doesn't really matter as long as it overlaps far enough is the key. A little excess hanging the other way, that's uneven, that does not matter. And then I'll work my way over on this side, on that face where the trim goes. I'll make sure it's pushed up enough so the trim can fit and the plastic's not too tight. And same thing on this truss here. I'll overhang it wherever it overhangs and pull it tight. And then I'll put a row right here last. And all it's doing is hanging it up so I can put the steel up. It ain't gotta be perfect. But so far so good. I got 1 bay left after this one and I'm ready. There's what I got, stapled. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull this side all the way over there. See how it looks in that corner. And before I staple, yeah, I'll probably go ahead and staple it because I'm already that far. I'll pull it tight that way. Then I'll probably go this way, pull that one tight, and then move on. This part's kind of boring. Just kind of showing you how I'm buttoning up the ends. I don't want any gaps up in there, not big gaps, because I'm gonna blow the insulation in. And just kind of want to keep things nice and tight on the edges. Nothing real special, kind of easy work, just repetitious. Not my favorite up and down the ladder part, but gotta do what you gotta do. All right, that bay is done. Just kind of show you what I did in this corner where them freaking braces are. These make it challenging too. Anything coming through the ceiling is gonna make this a pain in my ass. But yeah, just tape it up around there, seal it up. No big deal, ain't gonna really hurt anything if there's a little plastic missing there. You know, could be insulation on top of that and OSB on top of that. So anyways, yeah, I am not sure what I'm gonna do about the steel around this yet. It depends on how it falls. You know, I'm starting from that side, actually that corner. I'm gonna build and come this way. Yeah, I don't know. I bet you I butchered the first one. All right, I'm back. Well, I went ahead and did the trim, as you can see up there. And I had my wife out here help me put that one piece of steel up on the roof there. Let me show you. So there's the first piece. And these pieces are the worst because you got to have your trim on both ends. And then you got to slide the steel in that way unless you're going to put a big bow in it and hope the ends fit, which this piece is so short. There's no way we're putting bow in it. So we had to slide it in. And it actually went right in there pretty good. But let me show you. So on the other side of the staircase, same situation. Got a trim piece on the end, trim piece on the end. And that one we probably could have got some bow in it to put it in, but I didn't want to do it that way. I got the garage door rail in the way. I could either get on one side of it or the other. So we got to slide this one in. So it's tricky. So we used a drywall lift. I built a, I got a ladder with some wood on there to support it. And we got a halfway in and the damn thing just gets stuck. Would not go in, and I'll show you why. I made a big mistake. So there's a trim piece that kept getting wedged in. As you can see, it's all beat to shit. Well, when I built this wall, this staircase wall, I had to have this 2x4 behind the, no, I can't really see it up there. It had to be behind the header for the stairs. So you can see that 2x4 is on one side of the header, and this one's behind it. So what that did, which I forgot about it, as you can see here, got about 2 inches to the cut line there, and about 3.5 inches there. So this 2x4 is back further than that one, and I forgot all about it. So I put the trim piece up there, so of course it's wedged like that. So we took our reading from the middle of it all the way across to get the length of the steel. So I cut the steel to length. It goes in nice and easy. It's halfway and stops and wedges. I kept forcing it, trying to get it to go. Wouldn't go. Pulled it out. As I was pulling it out, I noticed my mistake. So today's job, I'm gonna pull that trim off. Gonna put a little short piece of 2x4 up there to space that thing out that way, and take a new measurement. And I'm probably gonna pull the steel down and take off probably like 1/4 inch or something minute, and then try it again. Whether or not I actually try it again by myself, we'll see. I don't want to hurt myself, but the system seems to be working with the lift. It's just it just sucks because once I get it in there, I gotta put a screw to attach the steel to the roof to hold it just somewhere. And then I gotta lower the lift, jump over to the other side of the stupid rail, and you get under it so I can push the steel the rest of the way onto the lift. Because right now when we push it, we're going off the lift. And if that thing comes completely off, all the sag in that thing's gonna pop out. So I gotta just get it started. There's my hole for the screw. Right there. I put one screw in just to hold it until I can jump the lift on the other side. So that's where I'm at. Well, there it is. I got it fixed. Added a 2x4 behind it, went all the way down, towed it into that one. Now I measure all the way across, from here all the way down to here, and then from here all the way down to that side. It measures parallel. Probably should have done that in the first place. I would have caught it. Yeah, my trim's a little short. No biggie. I'm gonna go ahead and get the steel in there after I cut it. I gotta cut an inch off. And once I get the steel all in place, I'll just piece a little short piece in there. Not the best looking, but whatever. Won't be able to see it when it's all done. So, anyways, getting ready to cut that bad boy right now, 1 inch off it. Here's my line. And I'm gonna give her a cut. Flip it back over upside down, that way. Get it back on top of here. And get it up there, over the rail. Yep, all that fun stuff. I'm not gonna proceed if I feel unsafe. I'll get it as far as I can comfortably by myself. And I'll stop if I have to. Got the piece up there and started. Got her in that piece of trim going. Got her on that one, and I'm just trying to stay fairly parallel as I pulled in. So I'm by myself. I got just enough tension on her, and I got her almost as far as I can until I got to stick a screw in there and hold it up so don't sag. Lower the drywall lift, bring it on the other side of my freaking stupid ass rail for the garage door opener. Should have pulled it off, but I didn't. And once I jump on this side, I'll go back under it and I'll pull it onto the lift, because right now I'm pulling it off of the lift. So I'm almost to, the center line, which I can go to about center safely, and put a screw in there and then jump back to this side and then I'll pull it onto the lift. So that's the plan. It's actually sliding pretty good this time, now that everything's parallel and correct. Stupid. Jump the stand to the other side of the garage door opener, or garage door, or whatever, rail. Got my wood set up. Kind of see I'm below the trim. See that? How I got it nested below the trim. All of them are that way. The other one, right there. That way the metal, it's not blocking the metal sliding in to the channel there. Yeah, it's pretty safe now. I gotta get up there and take that one screw loose right there, and then start sliding it all the rest of the way on. I think it's gonna work. This is by far gonna be the hardest piece on this entire ceiling. Anytime you got trim on both ends like that, it's a pain in the ass, especially by yourself. My wife helped me yesterday. We had it almost all the way in and realized I screwed that up. So she ain't here today. But I bet you she's sore from yesterday. Just a pain in the ass. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish her up and get her in that side channel and start putting screws in it. That's in place. It was not easy, but it's there. It actually looks pretty good. I was a little worried about it. It was kind of tight. But it's nice and straight all the way down. But it was tight. That end over there, I had to push it in and get it in there. But it has to be in there. You got to keep it nice and parallel, so when you get to the other side, back there, it's not super crooked, although I think it's going to be a little bit. All right, so get some screws going in there, and right now I'm trying to pick out which board I'm going to screw to in there. And then floor joists, I got some are a little crooked, so I'm going to get my laser out I got 18 footers, so they're going to overlap about 6 inches in the middle. I don't have a common floor joist, so they're both going to overlap where I can put it, so I have to have a row of screws towards the end of this piece of steel, and they're going to overlap, and I'll have a row of screws probably in this one right here. So it is what it is. I was hoping to have just one set of screws all the way down, but I'm going to have probably 2 sets all the way down. We'll see. Well, I set my laser up, and I'm trying to get some lines on the floor joists, which I put in a little bit crooked here and there. They're a little warped. So I'm just trying to get some decent lines that are going to hit wood, and I'm putting little dots on the steel as I go, and that's what I'm doing. So I got some screws started already on this row, and actually that row I put screws in. I'm getting ready to lay out the lines right there on that one, or the little dots, and I'm keeping it straight with my laser all the way down. Finally got her on. Yeah, it was definitely the hardest one of this whole entire project. Gonna be. All the rest shouldn't be bad. Now I get to start down here, come this way. I'll have to notch it out a little bit. Same with this one. I'll put the next one on top of this one. It'll go on top for my view of sight. That way I won't see the seam as bad. I don't really care about that. No matter where you stand, they're gonna see a seam somewhere. So anyways, there it is. Got my screws laid out real nice with the laser, nice and straight. On to the next one. Next one is ready. I already got her notched out. To clear this wall, it has to go around. It has to go around that. So I got it cut. I just laid it out. Just tape measured from a couple datums and notched it out. Gave it just about an 1/8 inch clearance. And I'm hoping it works. I'm going to have to fight it here to get it in. It's going to be a pain. This one's going to be a pain in the ass too. Not as bad as the other, but the next two, I'm going to have to all interlock around this a little bit. So it's going to be a little tricky. After those two, then it's easy. So I'm going to go ahead and lift it up, get it close. Got it close. It's going to be a little difficult. Got that side a little higher. Gonna hopefully get all that kind of started. Start getting into that J channel, FJ channel, whatever. And then at the same time, I gotta come over here and get all that started. So we'll see. Got her in place. It was a bitch. Not gonna lie. Not as bad as the other piece though. It's just getting everything started by yourself. You just got to do it little by little. Get it kind of even. Made that corner turn out pretty nice. Turned out pretty good there. You know, you got to fight it in a channel. But now, once I get that next piece on to complete this wall right here, or not wall, complete this run, now I'll have one continuous edge all the way down. And it just push a piece of steel on, push it in a channel, screw it on. Pretty easy all the way down. So one more piece, and I got to figure out how that's going to lay. You know, again, I got to get in this channel, and I got to get it in that channel. So I'm going to have to slide it back in that way. Shouldn't be too bad. That's tomorrow. I'm hot. I'm taking a break. I got some screws in that one, holding her up. Had to pick out which floor joist to use in that. This one's going to be funny because I really need to be in that one, but I don't have that one over here. I got to use that and then jump back over on the next piece to that one. No biggie. So, getting ready to put that one up. We'll get it cut. And instead of fighting it, and that end piece right there, I might cut it a little bit short there. The next piece that goes up, it doesn't really need to go into the FJ channel. So I may cut that so it doesn't, because it's going to end. The other piece goes to about right here. It'll overlap about that much. And it doesn't need to go in there. So I may just go ahead and cut the notch so I don't got to fuck with it. Just push it right into that channel. And then hopefully this has a little clearance and it doesn't need to go in. I can just go up and over. So that's my plan. She's laid out. That's what I'm going to cut out. That little square. I use these. Not the best. They work, but they do mar up the metal a little bit. So anyways, let's go. It's up. Screwed in. All the way down. And I got the garage door rail bracket mounted. So it's just basically got 3/4 inch spacers behind it with some lag screws going into good wood up there. So there you have it. New day, new concern. Next piece isn't just lay it in there and go. I got that freaking brace to worry about. So I took some measurements from where the next piece of steel, the end of it's going to be, and I kind of just laid things out because I got to cut a rectangle out of my piece of steel to clear that, and then I have to have a slit in the steel to the end so I can get it around that piece. So I went ahead and just did a little sketch up there, and that's what I got. So I laid that out in a piece of steel. Kind of hard to see, but there's that represents the brace. So I got to cut that square out, a rectangle out. Perhaps gonna use a jigsaw, and then cut a slit all the way down as thin as I can, because I don't want to use my shears and I'll have a 1/4 inch gap in there. Because once it's all up in there, that little slit I have will fall behind the brace. It'll be right on that truss, the cord bottom right there. And it's going to be there. It won't be that visible. It's the only way to get it around that. The only way I can think of. You got to put a slit in it and you can get it around there. So hopefully I got enough clearance cut around that. I'll have a little bit of clearance. I don't want it to be too tight, you know. So we'll see. So I'm going to get to cutting. Took the jigsaw, cut all the way to that corner. Then I use a cutoff wheel for that. Gonna use a cutoff wheel to do those shorties. Take that piece out. That should be it. Hopefully I didn't burn the shit out of it. But, oh well. Well, as you can see, that did not work. I cannot get that around that brace. It just won't work. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish my cut. Notch this piece completely out to that width. And I'll just slide the piece. I'll just slide it. You know, that notch will go right over that. And then later, I'll come back. And I got some scraps left. I'll cut a piece off. And I'll piece it in behind there to cover that. No big deal. I might even glue it on so I don't see no screws. A little glue on there and call it good. It's all cosmetics. So notch this one out and try it again. There it is. Got it kind of drooping there because I got to put the other piece on top of that one, and I'll fasten both at once. This one, as you can see, there's what I had to do. I had to notch it, and like I said before, I'm gonna find a piece of something and cut it out and probably just glue it on. I don't really need any screws there. It's just cosmetics. I'll just glue a little piece on. So getting ready to put the next piece on. And look at no cutting. I can actually just lift it, put it in place, mark my screw locations, and that's it. Getting close. We're getting real close. Won't be long. I'll be spraying insulation in there and finishing the floor. Well, there we go, another row. Yep, looks like about 2 more rows to go. Next one looks pretty easy. No cut on that one either. The last one I'm gonna have a little bit of cutting. No big deal. All right, getting easier. See that? Going up easy now, so hopefully it just keeps going to the last piece there and I'm on my way. Not that bad, all by yourself. Well, there's the complete run there for me for the day. Be back out here tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like, is that one? It looks, hang on. There's regular 1-to-1 scale, so it looks right. Looks like 2 more rows. I didn't even figure out where it's gonna land at. I was just hoping it would at least make it to that truss. I don't know, we'll see. So, that's it for me today. New day. I'm not sure if I showed you all this, but I'm gonna show you how I'm using this laser to find my screws up there and what I did. So, this is what I did. All right, before I buttoned up the wall and all that, I knew where my floor joist was. So I made a mark up there with a pencil. Right there, on that trim. And I did that on the trusses, or the, the floor joists that I knew I was gonna tie into for the screws. So I did it on both ends of my barn. Came over and made my mark. There's another one up there, made a mark. All the way down this wall. And I did the same thing on that wall. I haven't put my floor joists in yet, but that's how I line up my laser. Once I put the piece of steel up there, you can't see anything, and I'm not snapping lines using strings and all that. It's too messy. I did that with the exterior metal, and kind of have to outside, so you can't see a laser very well outside, but anyways, so that's what I did. So you can see it right there, my screw line. And there's my laser, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm getting ready to put that piece up, and I'll just put little dots on a Sharpie where my screws are gonna go on the line, all the way down this piece of steel. Then I'll start a few screws. Actually, I kind of start them all once it's up there. Just make my marks. Then I go back and start screwing things in on the seam first, where the overlap is. I like to suck that up first so it's straight, and then I work that way with my screws. And you can see down there, let me show you. On that floor joist there, I couldn't get to the wall, so I just made a mark on that floor joist, right where that laser is. And same thing going down it, I got marks, one right there. Kind of hard to see under that gang nail strip deal there. You can see it. Work your way down, and I got some more down there. There's one somewhere by that nail strip. And that's about how I do it. That way all I gotta do is get my laser, pick up my both ends, and you see it lands real nice on that floor joist. And that's how I do it. And it looks really nice when you look down your screws. And the floor joists aren't perfect either, so some of them do veer off, and this is a good way to catch them. So if you got to crowd your screw or line a little bit one way or the other, you can. But that's just a little tip on how I do that. All right, well, there it is. All done. Well, not all done, but that's this section I'm doing for now. Well, I appreciate y'all watching. I know this is a long video. I'm gonna stop the ceiling video right there. And I may do an insulation one later. Then I'm gonna finish the floor up there with some OSB for the flooring. I may show that, I don't know yet, but thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you have, thanks, and appreciate you following my channel, and be a lot more to come. So thanks again. See you next time.